Hi, Tacoma. Welcome to your first grade TV classroom. Today is Thursday, December 15th. How are you today? I'm doing pretty well. Let's check our zones before we start today. How's your body feeling? How are your emotions feeling? And how is your brain feeling? Rashid, earlier today, I was in the blue zone. I had a really bad headache, but I just kept trying my best. And guess what? I'm in the green zone now. My headache went away. And now I'm feeling great and ready to learn. How are you doing today, Rashid? Oh, Rashid said that he's in the yellow zone because he's really excited to go with Pebble to the park this afternoon and play, and he's kind of losing his focus. What could Rashid do to stay focused on his work today? Yeah, do that thing Miss Oslin taught us. Focus, brain, focus. Okay, Rashid, you need to tell yourself to focus. Say, focus, brain, focus. Good job. All right. Now, we're going to subitize. Are you ready? Before we subitize, it's okay, it can stay up, Mr. Kevin. Make sure you have your learning buddy, your whiteboard, your marker, and your counters. Okay, now let's subitize. How many do you see? Oh, excuse me. That yawn snuck out of nowhere. It was very surprising. All right, what do you see? You see 6. How do you see it? Go ahead, just tell me. Tell me on the TV. How do you see 6? Someone said, I see 2 and 1, 2 and 1. Okay. Anyone else see it differently? Oh. 4 and 2 make 6. Excellent. Anybody else? This is how I saw it. Yeah, Mr. Kevin?
3 and 3.
Oh, Mr. Kevin, do you see 3 and 3 like this?
See?
That's how I saw 3 and 3 as well. That's what I was going to say. Let's go on to the next one. Ooh, how many do you see? 6. How do you see 6? 5 and 1. Excellent. Another way to see 6. 2 and 4. Another way to see 6. 3 and 3. Great job. How many do you see? 4, 6, 8. There are 8 dots. Did anyone see it differently? Those yawns, they're sneaking up out of nowhere. 4 and 4 makes 8. Kiss your brain, first graders. How many do you see? How did you see it? Did you see it like this? I saw 4 and 4 make 8. Oh, you saw it differently? How did you see it? 6 and 2 make 8. Okay. What about this one? Whoops. There we go. 3, 2, 3. That would work too. Okay. How many do you see now? How did you know it was 10 so fast? I see it too. 5 and 5 make 10. Nice job, first graders. Today we're learning to compose and decompose teen numbers. Compose and Decompose. Rafa. No, Rafa's in 3rd grade. Rashid. Compose. Maybe we should ask Rafa. Rafa, do you know what compose and decompose means? Do you know? I'm going to give you a hint. Are you ready? Compose. Decompose. Compose. Decompose. Compose, put together. Decompose, take apart. Do it with me. Compose, put together. Decompose, take apart. So if we're going to compose and decompose teen numbers, what are we going to do today? We're going to put teen numbers together and we're going to take them apart. Are you ready? Let's get to work. I want you to practice showing a teen number 3 different ways. I want you to model it with counters. I want you to write it with numbers. And I want you to show me an equation. You can pick any teen number you want. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, 1 minute, and go. Pick any number you want between 11 and 19, and you're just practicing putting it together. A picture of it, showing the tens and extra ones, an equation showing the tens and extra ones, and numbers showing the 10 and the extra ones. I'm going to stop you there. If you're not finished, that's okay. Let's go on to our next problem. Go ahead and reset. Cora has 10 cubes and 7 more cubes. Dan has 18 cubes. Who has more cubes and why? So, Mr. Kevin, we're going to need all of the screens up. So let's build it. Or draw it if you don't have things to build. Cora has 10 cubes. Okay, and I'm actually going to use just this today. That's going to work better. 10 cubes and 7 more cubes. Actually, I'm going to just count it for you, friends, and then break it apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 10 cubes and 7 more cubes. If I put those together, what number do I get? 17. I composed 10 cubes and 7 cubes, and I got 17. Okay. Now, Dan has 18 cubes. Ooh, can you see them all? No. So I'm going to have to do it like this for Dan. Who has more cubes? Why do you say that? Oh, Dan has more cubes because they both have 10, but Cora has 7 ones and Dan has 8 ones, and 8 is more than 7. Look. Dan's is longer. So Dan has more because 17 is less than 18 And 18 is more than 17 because the 8 extra ones has one more. Okay. Oh, number bond. Mr. Kevin, if we could get the number bond up just a little bit because we're going to build it and then I'm going to write on the screen. So I'm going to get my pen ready. Perfect. So 11. How would we make the number 11 with 10s and extra ones? We have a 10, right? 10, 11. So it says 11 is made up of 10 and 1. Great. Go ahead and draw this next number bond on your board. Okay. What do I need to build this time? A 10. I've got that. And 9. Okay. A 10 and a 9. I have a 10 and 9 extra ones. If I have those parts together, what number do we have? Turn and tell your learning buddy, what number did we just build? I hear it. Yes, 19. Okay, now let's just look at our PowerPoint and let's see if we can come up with some equations to match these number bonds. I've got 10 and 1 and 11 is my whole. So what's my whole? 11. Mr. Kevin, can we have just the PowerPoint? Here it comes. Are you ready? It's like magic. Ta-da! So, look at our equation down here. Let's read it and see what we need to put in each place. This is when students get really mixed up because the equal sign just means is the same as. So we have to make sure we put the numbers in the right place. Blank is the same as blank plus blank. So this is going to be our whole is the same as part plus part, right? Okay, so what's our whole? 11. And what are our two parts? 10 plus 1. So our equation is 11 is the same as 10 plus 1. See if you can write an equation for this next number bond. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds. What would you write? Mm-hmm. 19 is the same as 10 plus 9. Nice job. Okay. Gonna turn the page. Boop. Explain. Buzz says that this shows 14. Do you agree? Why or why not? Do you agree? Does it show 14? Private think time. Does it show 14? Pebble, what do you think? You think so? Well, in math, we don't want to think so. We want to know so. So keep looking at it until you're sure and confident. Rashid, what do you think? Is Buzz correct? Do you agree? Oh, Rashid says, I do not agree, Mrs. Wally. Why do you not agree? First off, we have a 10. Okay. And then we have 3 extra ones. And he knows 1 10 and 3 ones is 13, not 14. It looks like Buzz didn't count this part correctly. Is it important to be accurate when we count, first graders? It is. Now I want you to think about teen numbers. We're going to look at each of these separate. I'm going to give you a number to make on the stars and then a number to make on the moons. And let's see if you can make it. Now, I don't want you to have to draw 10 stars in a tens frame. So you can just make a box and write 10 in it like this. And then draw the extra stickers after. All right? Save you a little bit of time. So please build the number 14. We've got a 10. Then how many more ones will we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 and 4 ones is 14. Okay, Pebble. What number should we do next? 16. Okay. Draw 16. Make your 10. Then how many extra ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 16 is 110 and 6 extra ones. Very good. 10 and 6 make 16. Great work. Oh, now we have to make the number bonds for them. So our first one was 14. So what was our whole? Reset your board. Make a number bond on it. Our whole was 14. And we had 10 and 4. 14 is the same as how many tens? 110, not 10 tens. 10 tens is 100. This is one group of 10. 110 and 4 ones. Our other number was 16. What's our number bond for 16? A group of 10 and 6 ones. 16 is the same as 110 and 6 ones. Very good. Okay, now it's your turn to draw whatever you would like to show me the number 17, making sure you show me 110 and some ones. Are you ready? You have 30 seconds. Go. Okay. This is my 10. 17. 110 and 7 ones. Your assignment is to do page 253 and 254. All right? Great. Today we learned to compose and decompose teen numbers. We use models to take teen numbers apart. We use models to put teen numbers back together. And we could say what made a teen number. Blank 10 and blank ones makes blank. Before you finish your break, you need to make sure that you have your ELA packet, your pencil, and your learning buddy ready to go for Miss Oslin. I hope you have a great break, first graders. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Rules. 1. You have 10 seconds to pick your crewmate. 2. A new timer will appear with an exercise for the crewmate you picked. 3. You will get 10 points for each correct crewmate and exercise you choose. 4. If you pick the imposter, you will lose all your points. 5. See how many points you can get. Good luck.
Who the heck are you? What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus. No, you're not. Who the heck are you? What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus. No, you're not. Who the heck are you? What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus. No, you're not. Who the heck are you? What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus. No, you're not. heck are you? What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus. No, you're not.
Hi, first graders. Welcome back from your break. I'm getting my timer going. There. Okay, I'm ready. Hey, welcome back. I hope you had a great time taking care of your needs, gathering your materials, and getting ready for some reading and writing with me, Mrs. Oslin. Here we go. Today and every day when we come together, your job is to listen, share, and read and write. And I need to add something on here that says, think. You are a strong listener when you have your eyes on the speaker, which right now is me, when you listen to the speaker, and when you think about the words and the ideas that I'm asking you to think about. When it's your turn to share, I do want you sharing your ideas. I want you talking about the book or the ideas. And if you have someone in the room with you who's also sharing, you get to practice more active listening when it's their turn to share. We have been learning all about our phonics professor words, and I'm going to remind you of this now, and then at the end of our lesson, we're going to do some writing, and I want you to keep these in mind as you're writing. So you're going to think about uppercase and lowercase letters, the letter names and the sounds, the syllables, vowels and consonants, and digraphs and blends. Oh my. Today we are learning that fiction writers create characters, that's who the story is about, with personalities and problems just like you and me. And that's what makes realistic fiction feel so real, even though we know it's from our author and illustrator's imagination. Some examples are, in Amy Hest's story, You Can Do It, Sam, we learned all about our character, Sam, who's feeling nervous dropping some goodies off at a neighbor's door. And it's his mom who encourages him and says, "You can do it, Sam." And that made me think about a time when I was nervous to try something different, and someone who loves me and supports me and was around me encouraged me to do it. So I had a connection with our character, even though our character is a bear, and we know that this story is fiction. We also read all about Big Al, who was, as our author Andrew Clements told us, the biggest fish, and he looked scary, but he was also the nicest fish. And he tried really, really hard to make friends with other fish in the deep blue sea. And it just made me feel, I felt really sad for him. I had empathy. I could understand how he was feeling, that he wanted friends so badly, but that the other fish were scared of him. So even though I know this story is fiction, it's not real, it came from our author and illustrator's imagination, I still had a personal connection because our author and illustrator did such a nice job of writing about their characters, so I could tell their personality and feel their feelings and understand the problems they were having. Today we're going to read a book called When Sophie Gets Angry. Really, really angry. And it's by Molly Bang. She did both the words and the pictures. She's both the author and the illustrator. We're going to read about our character Sophie, who gets, spoiler alert, really, really angry. And I want you thinking as we read about a time when you have felt the same. How can you make a connection with our character Sophie, even though Sophie isn't real? Her feelings and her emotions and her problems feel real to you and I. Sophie was busy playing when her sister grabbed Gorilla. My turn. Ooh, I have had that situation. When I was growing up, I had 2 sisters and a brother. There were often times when we grabbed toys from each other, and it made me really, really angry. Can you think of a time when something like that happened to you? Take some think time. Turn and tell your learning buddy about a time when someone grabbed something from you and it made you really, really angry. Rashid, this is also making me think about my own kids and how they often are building Legos and they both want the same Lego piece, so they grab it from each other and it makes the other one really, really angry. Now, let's keep reading and thinking about how our character Sophie has feelings and problems and a personality, just like you and I have feelings and problems and personality. No, said Sophie. Yes, said her mother. It is her turn now, Sophie. As her sister snatched Gorilla away, Sophie fell over the truck. Oh, is Sophie ever angry now? What do you notice about how our author and illustrator drew Sophie? Also, notice the background. Take some think time. Turn and tell your learning buddy what you're noticing about this picture. Rashid, I'm noticing that Sophie is scowling like she's angry. And that makes me relate to her because I scowl when I'm angry sometimes too. And also, the background is red. And this is making me think about our zones check-in and how when I get really angry, I'm in the red zone. Now, continue to notice what our illustrator has done as we read through these pages and thinking about Sophie's feelings and the colors on the page. She kicks, she screams, she wants to smash the world to smithereens. She roars a red roar. Now there the author has used the word red to describe her anger. Sophie is a volcano ready to explode. And when Sophie gets angry, really, really angry, she runs. She runs and runs and runs until she can't run anymore. Pa-bam! I think that's the door slamming behind her. Stop and think about, what do you do when you get really, really angry? Turn and tell your learning buddy what you do when you get really, really angry. Rashid, sometimes I yell when I get really, really angry, and then I'm able to stop yelling, and kind of like Sophie, it's good for me to go outside and go on a walk. You'll remember, we all have many feelings, and anger is one of them that we all feel sometimes. Then, for a little while, she cries. Now she sees the rocks, the trees and ferns. She hears a bird. Notice the coloring, the color around the trees and the rock. Let me go back one slide. See how it's red? Now it's becoming less red, more purple, kind of closer to blue. She comes to the old beech tree. She climbs. Now notice the pictures, or the colors in this picture is much more blue. There's even some green. I'm thinking that as Sophie is calming and her zone is changing, she's moving from the red zone closer to the blue or green zone, that our illustrator has changed the colors so that you and I can feel much more like Sophie. And think of a time when we have been angry and started to calm down. This is what writers do in fiction to help us feel connected to the characters. She feels the breeze blow her hair. She watches the water and the waves. The wide world comforts her. Sophie feels better now. She climbs back down and heads for home. I'm home. The house is warm and smells good. Everyone is glad she's home. Everything's back together again. And Sophie isn't angry anymore. Now, we learned in When Sophie Gets Angry, Really, Really Angry by Molly Bang that writers of fiction, which are stories from their imagination, the characters will often have emotions and problems and personalities just like we do. And our author and illustrators work really hard to make us feel those connections and think about our lives and when we have experienced the same things that our characters are feeling. For example, in your ELA packet on page 11 is this graphic organizer all about Sophie's emotions. And you'll remember that in the beginning, Sophie's sister grabs her gorilla, and Sophie feels angry about that. And then when Sophie feels angry, Sophie kicks and screams, Sophie roars, Sophie explodes, Sophie runs, and Sophie cries. And then Sophie sees rocks, trees, and ferns. Sophie hears a bird, and Sophie climbs a beech tree. That's when Sophie feels comforted, and then she goes home, and all is well again. Now, on page 9 in your ELA packet, you will find this chart, My Feelings. I want you to get this out. You will also need your pencil and your learning buddy. Go ahead. Now, at the top of the chart, make sure you get your name and today's date, just like mine. Oh, not just like mine. Write your name. Don't write Mrs. Oslin, because you're not Mrs. Oslin. I am. All right. we are going to sketch, which means draw a quick picture, and write down here about a time when you felt angry, unhappy, sad, frustrated, just like Sophie did in our story. So the sentence frame at the bottom says, I felt when I felt really so I Let's not worry about the bottom part. Let's just think about I felt when Take some think time. Now I'm going to practice sharing my iMessage with my learning buddy about a time when I felt angry, unhappy, frustrated, or sad. Rashid, I felt really unhappy and overwhelmed last week when I had to be working at home, and I just felt like I had a lot to do and didn't know where to start. Now you go ahead and take a moment to share with your learning buddy about a time when you felt unhappy, sad, frustrated, or angry. It's so interesting that we all have experiences just like Sophie, where we feel the same things as a character in our book. Now you're going to take time in this box to sketch, which means it's a quick drawing. Don't worry about too much detail, about a time when you had that feeling when you just shared with your learning buddy. And I'm going to do mine at the same time. So go ahead. So you'll see my quick sketch. This is me at my house sitting in my dining room. Remember when we had TV classroom from Mrs. Oslin's dining room? That's what I'm talking about. It's my computer and my light. And let's see. Oh, I had a lot of books out. And I had lots of pens. And I had my Post-its. And I'm feeling really unhappy. Now I'm going to come down here, and the sentence says, I felt when So I'm going to fill in, I felt unhappy when I had to work from home. And as I do this, I'm going to use all of my phonics professor words that I can think of that will help me in my writing. You do the same on yours. And unhappy, I can just copy that. Unhappy. I felt unhappy when that's a snap word, had to work. I know there's a vowel. Work from, that's a snap word. Home. I hear the long O sound, the silent E. I felt unhappy when I had to work from home. Now, our next sentence goes on to say, I felt really, so I, Now, this is where we think about our feelings thermometer. Not just feeling unhappy. I felt a 5 unhappy on the feelings thermometer. So the other word that I can use that I felt at that time was overwhelmed. So what did I do about it? I went for a walk. I felt really overwhelmed, so I went for a walk. Take some think time and think about, what did you feel stronger than just unhappy? So what did you do about it? Take some think time. Now turn and tell your learning buddy your sentence. Rashid, I felt really overwhelmed, so I went for a walk. Now, remember to use all of your phonics professor words to help you write to finish this sentence. Go ahead. Overwhelmed. Okay, I can do that. Break that down. Really overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. I felt really overwhelmed, so I went. Oh, I hear that blend at the end. So I went for a walk. Walk. Now, as you finish, go back and reread your writing and make sure it makes sense. Make sure that you can actually read what you've written. I felt unhappy when I had to work from home. I felt really overwhelmed, so I went for a walk. So we're writing today about a time when we felt a feeling just like Sophie did. And we're able to make this connection because our author and illustrator used really vivid pictures and I felt a connection with our character. That's what strong writers of fiction do. Now, your independent work today is, on the back of that very same page, is this sketch and write about a feeling. And this you're going to do all on your own. First, think about a time when you felt a feeling. This says angry, unhappy, frustrated, or sad, like Sophie. But if you have another feeling that you're thinking about right now, write about that. You're going to sketch, and on the lines, write all about a time when you felt that feeling. That's your independent work today. Today we learned that fiction writers create characters with personalities and problems and feelings, just like you and me. I told you what your independent writing is going to be. First, you think about what you're going to write. Think about how you're going to draw and write it. And then, as always, try your best. That's what that document looks like. You're also going to continue reading, thinking about the characters in your books, and think about how even though it may be a fiction book, what did the author and illustrator do so that you feel the same feelings that your character is feeling? You're also going to practice reading your word wall. You can read it, say it with me, loud like a monster, scary like a witch, squeaky like a mouse, whisper like a secret, or invent your own. And if you are okay with it and your adult is okay with it, you can have them record you reading your word wall, and you can send it to us here at TV Classroom. There's our email address, and we will share it with other first graders in Tacoma. If you're not comfortable with that, absolutely okay. Write it down either in an email or a letter and get it to us, and we'll share your great thinking with other people in Tacoma. Continue tracking your reading goals, reading for longer and longer periods of time, and paying attention to how long were you actually focused while you were reading. Your reminder, there is no school from Monday, December 21st, that's this coming Monday, till Friday, January 2nd. So there won't be TV classroom, and your teacher will be on winter break, just like you. Mrs. Wally and I have a really special episode tomorrow to talk to you all about some things that you can do to take care of your mind and your body and your soul while you are on break. But we will see you back here tomorrow, but then after that, on Monday, January 4th. That same week, on Wednesday, January 6th, we're going to have Quabi and Simon from the Peace Bus here, singing and telling stories and talking all about peace and conflict. Then the following Wednesday, January 13th, we're going to have Tawana Nobles, who is the president and CEO of the Tacoma Urban League. And she's going to talk all about what she does in her job and also as her role as a recently elected Washington State Senator to support our community. Now, first graders, it's time for your affirmation. This is the time where we remind ourselves of the positive qualities that you and I all have. Your affirmation is, I am kind. Say that with me. I am kind. Remind yourself of that even when you're feeling angry, like Sophie. First graders, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you back here tomorrow in your TV classroom. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.